Hello beautiful beings, welcome back to Spiritual Self-Mastery. In today's special episode, we're going to be talking about exactly how an ayahuasca or plant medicine ceremony is done, depending on the places you go and everything, and also what the role of a facilitator is. So my friends, I literally just came back to Lima, Peru from the city of Iquitos, Peru, and also more south in jungle in the Amazon rainforest, where I spent a week and a half there, and I have learned so much during my facilitator training. In today's special episode, I'm wearing my special ceremonial ayahuasca shirt, where you can see like a lot of different icaros on there, right? Very beautiful. And you'll see a lot of shamans will actually wear these, or with these patterns on their clothes, and it's very powerful. And this is a huairuro seed necklace. Basically, it's supposed to bring a lot of good fortune and a lot of luck in one's personal lives, and also helps to ward off negative energies. Very powerful seed that people here in the jungle will, they'll wear a couple of these seeds always. They'll put a couple of them in their pockets to bring good luck, or put some under their pillow. Okay, let's stop drifting. Let's dive right into the subject, my friends. Okay, so how does an ayahuasca ceremony actually is done? It really depends on the place you actually go, and also depends on the shaman you actually work with for the plant medicine ceremony. So let me drop the mic a little quick. I'll try to make a little drawing for you guys, okay? So you have something called the maloka. A maloka is a circular ceremonial building that is used usually for ayahuasca or plant medicine ceremonies, okay? And usually it can always vary in size. You can have like very small malokas, you can have very, very big malokas, right? And depending on the places you go, sometimes they'll have like big malokas where they'll have like 30 or 40 people doing a plant medicine ceremony all at once. I am personally not the biggest fan of this because it's less personal, and there's all sorts of like energies swirling around, and it can be very debilitating for people when they do plant medicine. So that's why I prefer to do it in smaller groups. Preferably below 20 people, or below even 10 people. It's even better because you have less energies to deal with, and it's much easier to actually deal with the plant medicine. So if you can actually do a plant medicine ceremony with less than 10 people, it is the best. Okay, so usually it's always done in a maloka, circular building. People usually in the middle. So let's say you have the door right here. Okay, usually the door is always facing east, facing the sun. And usually the shaman is always facing the door. Okay, so the shaman is basically facing the rising sun. But usually ayahuasca ceremonies will always be done during the evening, or early evenings, or late evening. Always during dark. It's much easier for the visions and everything to flow. So yeah, the shamans usually will be sitting in the middle of the maloka, if you have a place that is well organized and well done. Like, depending on the places, sometimes people will just if it, or they'll just they won't have like an actual set program. But yeah, usually shaman in the middle, door at the entrance, and people will be sitting equally around the maloka, around the shaman. Okay, so let's say you have 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. So that's like already 8 people, 4 on each side of the shaman. And then you might have the facilitators, like I did last week. I was sitting right next to the door to basically help people. So, but I will be explaining that a little bit later. So during an ayahuasca ceremony, my friends, shaman will be sitting there, and he will have the plant medicine, the ayahuasca, and people will be Usually there is a smudging process that is involved even before you even enter the Maloka, depending on the places you go. Sometimes they do it once you're actually in the Maloka. So usually there's always a two-way smudging process, or sometimes they only do one of the two. Or sometimes they don't do it at all too. It really depends. Okay, so sometimes they will use a smudging tool like Palo Santo or even sage. Especially in South America and the Amazon, it would be Palo Santo, which means sacred wood. And they will burn it to actually help to cleanse the energies around your energetic body, and also around the Maloka to cleanse all the energies for the ceremony ahead. And also even smudging all around the Maloka to help cleanse all the energies and pretty much create like an energetical shield around the ceremonial location, around the Maloka. Also, they will be using sometimes the actual ceremonial tobacco, mapacho, right? A very powerful strain of tobacco that is used from how is it called? Nicotina rustica. It is the most powerful tobacco strain that is 9 times more potent than the typical tobacco strains, like Nicotina tabacum. But this one that we're actually using is Nicotina rustica, rustic tobacco, wild tobacco, 9 times more potent in nicotine than the traditional one. And yeah, so it will be used, but it's a very powerful protective spirit of tobacco that will be used. Sometimes the shaman will actually use it around you to protect your whole energetic body. And usually we will actually mapacho ourselves, and then we will mapacho the people, sometimes even before they enter the Maloka, before the ceremony, to protect them with the spirit of tobacco for the ceremony ahead. It's very powerful. Sometimes it really depends on the shaman. Okay, and sometimes the shaman will only do it once you're already inside the Maloka. And then they will protect your spirit, basically, for the whole ceremony. Very powerful, because once you actually enter into an ayahuasca ceremony, it can be very powerful into the spirit. You work with the spirit world, with the spirit of the plants that actually help you heal your own traumas. So a lot of negative energies, negative spirits may come out of you, as your spirit actually cleanses. And that's why you need all these plant protections, spiritual protection, actually protect you, because you may be vulnerable to spirits and to things when you go into the ayahuasca, the plant medicine world. It is a necessary step for your soul to actually cleanse itself. It has to be a little bit fragile for all that negative energy trapped inside your energetic body, to come out, for you to actually heal on the spiritual and physical level. So that's one of the things that happens. So that's why we work with plants and animal spirits to actually help to protect ourselves during these powerful ceremonies. And then we're protected, and then the heal can actually occur. So for the Aya ceremony, usually, like I said, always a smudging process with tobacco and or the tools such as Palo Santo to help cleanse and clear the energies around. So that's always the first steps. And then you usually sit in the Maloka, and then the shaman will have the ayahuasca, the plant medicine ceremony. You might start to chant certain icaros, right? Like icaros, plant gifts that or songs basically that he or she has received during their own training, and basically their plant songs. These plant songs actually help them to protect themselves and protect all the people during a ceremony. They will chant this usually by the ayahuasca bottle. They will chant it to basically bless the spirit of ayahuasca before people even start to actually drink. And then the shaman will be asking the people one by one to come up in front of the shaman in the middle of the Maloka to receive their cup, the little cup of ayahuasca. Sometimes it's a small when you're a beginner, sometimes it's slightly bigger. It always depends on how the shaman feels about you with your relationship with Aya. and they will give you the cup, and you come in front of the shaman. You drink the cup that the shaman gives you. To the very, very last drop, you drink all the ayahuasca. Otherwise, it is a disrespect to the medicine, because a lot of the chacruna and also the ayahuasca vines are actually used during this. And if you don't drink the whole medicine, like, it is a disrespect to to the sacrifice of these plants in order to make the brew of ayahuasca. Like, we don't just use all these different plants for the brew for nothing. Like, it is it is a sacred plant, and ayahuasca is getting more and more popular, so you don't want to be wasting any of it. So if you're actually wasting ayahuasca, you're actually doing a disservice to the Amazon, because they use all these vines and you don't want to be wasting any of it. Otherwise, you would be contributing to the deforestation of the Amazon. You don't want to do that. That's why it's very important to respect all this process and to drink it really for healing purposes. It is not something to do for fun anyways. It is for healing. Okay? So you come in front of the shaman, you basically drink your ayahuasca cup, and then you go sit back to your seat around, right? And then everybody goes, usually, it'll be going like counterclockwise, and people will start going in front of the shaman, drink their cup, give it back to the shaman, and then all sit back until everybody has drank their cup. Once everybody has drank their cup, then they will usually blow the candles, and then we sit in total pitch darkness, pretty much. Okay? Then you sit in the darkness, and then you wait. And then maybe after 30, 45 minutes, then the plant medicine starts to kick in. The ayahuasca starts to, and then you start to, people have their buckets right next to them, right? And then they might start puking, and stuff like that, right? The purge, as the spirit of ayahuasca, the plant medicine actually works within you to help to stir up all these negative energies, these traumas, all these bottled up emotions that shouldn't be in your spiritual body. Ayahuasca helps to, it works in your body until it finds these traumas and these negative emotions. And once it finds them, it attacks it, and then the purge starts. You might go to puke. You might start puking and everything. And you might have to go to the bathroom. There's many different types of purging. Okay, purging encompasses many different things. Sweating, vomiting, having to go to the bathroom for number 2, screaming, crying, you name it. There's all sorts of purging, okay? And so people drink, and then it starts to kick in. And then after that, then the shaman decides if people... certain people may come for a second cup a little bit later, but usually after it starts to kick in, after 30 to 45 minutes, then eventually the shaman will start to sing her or his icaros, the plant gifts, like I said a bit earlier. They start to chant it, and it really helps to protect everybody here in the Maloka as they're doing their own ayahuasca ceremony, their own healing ceremony. So the shaman might sing these different icaros to protect from different plant that they have worked with in the past through different plant diets, all these different plant gifts, these different chants that they've acquired, and they chant these these powerful chants from plants to protect everyone. So basically the ceremony goes on. It might take 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever, right? However long it takes to do the whole ayahuasca ceremony, and then eventually the ceremony is over, and then people purge and everything. But during the whole ceremony, it might take like 5, 6 hours, and sometimes some people have it in waves. Plant medicine and ayahuasca goes up and down, it comes in waves. Sometimes they're like, okay, I think I'm good, and then an hour after, boom, you get some waves of visions and waves of different things start to hit you, and epiphanies, and many different healing parts of the ceremony comes always in waves. So yeah, and the facilitators that are completely sober, that's what I've done last week. I've been helping a group for the whole Aya ceremonies. I've participated in 3 Aya ceremonies pretty much, and I've helped them as a facilitator. We had our own flashlights, but of course we don't want to be breaking their vision, so we had to have like red lights, not white lights, otherwise it would like really blind them and really ruin all their visions. You don't want that. So yeah, we had our headlamps, right, or red lights, and we would be helping them. And if anyone needed to go to the bathroom or whatever, you don't want them to fall or anything, that's when us, the facilitators, came into the picture to basically make sure everything is safe. That is the role of the facilitator. So now we're done with the ayahuasca ceremony part. Now let's talk about facilitator. A facilitator, depending on the retreat center you actually go to, if you have a really good retreat center that is very well organized and everything, usually you will have facilitators. Facilitators are always the people that do not drink the medicine. They're here to actually make everybody safe, the environment safe, and also help assist the shaman and help the people that are there to heal. Okay, so the best way is always you have facilitators right next to the door, right? So let's say you have some bathrooms here, right? So that's what happened with me at the retreat center I went to, right? We had the bathrooms over there, and we had to walk a little bit right over there, getting out of the maloka. But sometimes some people, during the whole ceremony, they needed to go to the bathroom, but they shouldn't go alone, right? They might fall, especially when you're in plant medicine, everything can be very debilitating, right? So we were the guides, the guardians. We were making sure that everything went safe. So when someone needed help, they were using their flashlight or whatever, right, on the ground, with the red light, of course, and then that was the signal for us, like, okay, they need some help. Then we would go to assist them. What do you need? Do you need some paper towels? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Whatever. They would tell us, like, okay, you need to go to the bathroom? Okay, sounds good. I'll be helping you. So then, they would follow us, right? They would put their hands on us and follow us, and we would guide them all the way up to the bathroom. And we would be waiting for them until they're done, and then guide them all the way back to their seat. And so that was one of the big roles of us facilitators, was mainly to bring people to the bathroom. It is part of the safety aspect, right? And also we had to make sure that the environment is safe, that no one stands up, starts running around, screaming or whatever, right? We had to try to keep the energies low and calm for everyone to have a very positive and calm and harmonious ceremony. If someone would start to scream, we would go very gently, go and see them, and tell them everything's gonna be okay, with a lot of love, a lot of compassion. Also, we can't, in plant medicine world, in the spiritual world, you cannot be, it's not like my previous work. You can't be like in the military, oh, you have to do this, that. No. You have to be very gentle. This never works. When you're too rigid, it will never work. The spiritual world, the plant medicine world, is very wavy. Is very all about compassion, love, and being of service, in service to others. We are nothing. As facilitators, we are absolutely nothing. We are only vessels to their own healing. That's what we do. And also help us as the shaman also. If the shaman needed to go and sing some different ikaros to different people, customized ikaros to help them heal with their own struggle at that specific time during the ceremony. So all of this happens. We help people to go to the bathroom. We help to calm them down, to tell them that everything's going to be okay. We can bring them their bucket. Sometimes people will, flip the bucket or whatever, and then we'll have to use a separate towel. And sometimes we'll have to actually clean the actual purge that's on the ground. That's a less fun part of it, but we had to make sure that everything is clean and safe for everyone, right? Also making sure that no one like actually starts to sit down, especially when they're heavy in plant medicine. You know, you don't want anyone to be suffocating in their own purge, right? In their own vomit. You don't want that, right? So you got to make sure that everybody's like somewhat sitting up, or like you know, at least tilted a little bit. They can't be like fully sitting on the ground. That's a recommendation, anyways. So yeah, so we just, you know, we do our rounds. We make sure that everyone is safe. Especially when you're in the middle of the Amazon, where you don't have access to a direct ambulance real quick. It's kind of important that you're extremely careful. You know, you got to be very vigilant into everything that you do. So yeah, so this is pretty much what happens during a whole ayahuasca ceremony. And then if you have a good shaman that, you know, that really is of service and that is not lazy, because sometimes you have lazy shamans, but you have a shaman that will stay until the very end of the ceremony, that will stay even a couple hours after the ceremony to make sure that everyone is safe, that, you know, no one, let's say 4 hours after the plant medicine starts hitting them all of a sudden and it didn't affect them before. That's why you want to have a shaman the whole way through, right? And then the morning after, people wake up, you sleep in a maloka. That's an important part too. You sleep in a maloka, and then the morning after, everybody wakes up and then shares their own experience. And then then there's the debrief aspect of it a little bit later during the day. But that's pretty much it. That's how an ayahuasca ceremony should be should be going at, usually. But it will always vary depending on the place you go, depending on the shaman. They all have different processes, so there's no right or wrong way. Okay, that's a very important part. There's no right or wrong way, but there are a safe way. There are, you know, I believe there are some better ways than others, of course, like the one I mentioned. Very professional, very well taken care of, with facilitators and everything. That's a very, very, very well organized and very well done type of ceremony. You want that if you can. And with all the different processes involved to have a very positive plant medicine ceremony. Anyways, my friends, I think I pretty much went into detail about the plant medicine and ayahuasca ceremony. I hope you like these explanations. This is my own personal experience as a guy that went multiple times at many different retreat centers here in the Amazon of Peru. And and I've literally just spent a whole week for facilitator training to learn how to facilitate a well-organized healing center with a very knowledgeable shaman, and also a very well-organized place compared to other places. So yeah, I learned so much, and I hope you learned some things about the plant medicine world here in this little expose. And my friends, thank you so much for watching this beautiful video. Okay, so much more to come. Okay, and my friends, make sure you smash that like button, you leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more spiritual subject, anything related with plant medicine, with spirituality, and also self-mastery. My friends, thank you so much for watching again. Stay tuned for more, and have a beautiful and gorgeous day. Stay blessed, my friends. I love you.